I've been carrying this knife for a couple months now, off and on. That's a Kershaw 1445 half ton. Here comes its slightly bigger brother, 3/4 ton, model 1446. I carried that a little while too. And then we got big brother, the 1 ton, model 1447. Welcome to the Down and Dirty 3-for-1 special Nutnfancy tabletop review on the tons by Kershaw. The big upside to these knives is their incredible value. That's it, incredible value. On the bottom, this will be about 13 bucks. 13 bucks as well for this one, a little bit more, a little bit less. Around $20 for that one. Downside, made in China. Just like a lot of Kershaw knives, actually, for that matter, Spyderco as well. A lot of manufacturers, in order to get such a price point, have to go overseas. But from these knives and what I've experienced in using them, the quality is pretty darn high for the money you're paying. That takes us to a very short discussion on philosophy of use. I'll put all of these knives in the EDC category, solidly. Perhaps tactical category for the 1 ton. A little bit of gimping up top. Not much. Mostly EDC utility knives. That's exactly how they're marketed by Kershaw as utility blades here if you dig in the catalog and read about the tons. But they're so cheap, dudes. I mean, you can basically lose a knife and not sweat too much about it. 13 bucks? Yeah, EDC utility blades. Let me just bottom line it by saying Thrasher blades. Here's your weights. Big brother right here, 5 ounces. A little bit more, 3 ounces, 3.2 ounces. The feel is chunky for these bottom two, to be honest with you, and like I said, I did carry it, both of these around, all three actually around, and I noticed it was in my pocket. Talking about ergonomics, handle, I guess, too. It's not the slimmest knife around, obviously you can tell by looking at it. Might be a good color, by the way, if you're a construction worker and someone who's prone to losing knives. The orange I'm talking. Black, maybe not so much. Feel is okay in the hand. I'm talking ergonomically again. Nothing special. Or maybe I should say nothing special. Steel is 8CR13 MOV. I like it. Real proven with me at this point. It is a Chinese produced steel. It will rust on you, especially when it's bead blasted like this on the 1 ton. Notice the finishing on these ones. Kind of Scotch-Brite. Just keep it oiled, you won't have any problems with it. I didn't slap this on the EPA, get a wicked edge out of it, but you could. It takes a very good edge, easy enough for me to resharpen. I don't have any issues with it at all. Pretty much classic hollow ground drop point blades. They're very broad in nature, hollow ground from the mid spine. This is a good thing right here on all 3 blades. A flattened portion, if you have a consistent angle resharpener like the Edge Pro Apex. That's helpful to have that. I've been covering that in my reviews now for a while. Like that. I don't mind the hollow grinding on these at all. Nice belly on them. Let's see the tip. It's not super duper strong, but it also gives some precision too if you want it. Unsharpened swedge on all 3 models. I like the blade shape. You might be surprised with that because I generally gravitate to the clip blades, but if a drop point's executed like these are, I don't mind it. The one thing you'll know notice in utility tasks, they won't peel apples and fruits and vegetables so well. Didn't see that one coming, did you? No, you need a narrower blade to make that happen, at least in my experience. A Flash 1 would be a good example of that. That's a steel and blade shape. Speed. I forgot to check this one if it had phosphor bronze bushings. I think there's a nylon washer in there. Let me grab my ProTac flashlight. Yeah, it's just nylon washers, probably in all of them. Speed on the 1 ton is just excellent. Nice solid lockup, tight. This is a frame lock, unlike the others, which are liner locks. 410 stainless steel, bead blasted on this side with a very nice clip we'll look at here in a second. There's your lockup. Engagement. Pillar construction on this $20 knife. It's a $20 frame lock. I'll go ahead and tell you now, this is my favorite. You might be surprised since it's the heaviest, but I just love the 1 ton. It is such a cool knife. It's so flat. You can really cover that in ergonomics, but look how flat that knife is. And it mimics some of those heavier duty Kershaws and ZTs for that matter. As far as its looks, big, broad blade, super fast frame lock. 5 ounces for a $20 knife of this quality to me is doable, no problems. And carrying it, I really didn't get bugged by it. One reason is because it is so thin. Excellent speed, lock up, 3/4 ton. That is a liner lock. Non-skeletonized liners in this, as you can see. That's why they're heavier. 3.8 ounces again for this one. There's your engagement if you're interested. Notice the thumb studs on all 3 models. They're excellent. No problems at all. No volcano issues. No access issues getting to it on those nylon handles. Just nice speed on that. Real good job, Kershaw. I mean, no problems at all. And the same for the half ton. I hope I didn't mix the names up. This is a 3/4, half, 1 ton. It's confusing, keeping them all straight. How about the gimping on these smaller versions? There is some molded in jimping. I'm kidding, by the way, when I say gimping. Right here, there's your stop pin on the half ton or 3/4 ton. Sorry, the half ton. Told you I'd get confused. This provides some traction. As an EDC blade, it's plenty. For this model, I mean, the reference standard still in my book is probably the Delica 4 FFG. Yeah, go look at the jimping on that. The thumb ramp, just perfection. Same, this molded in jimping on 3/4 ton. Not quite as, I don't know, deep. Same thumb studs. Speed, lockup, and strength. There you go. That is my favorite in terms of lockup. The liner locks for a utility knife, completely adequate. Handle construction you've been looking at. I got to tell you, just taste-wise, I'm not too much into their wrench motif, but I understand what Kershaw's doing. This is a mass production knife intended for, I don't know, maybe the Lowe's hardware crowd as a utility knife, and that's its job. So they have kind of a wrench clip there, 3/8 inch wrench. I think that's what I measured that at. Is it functional? Don't know. Didn't try it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's just goofy. It's big. It's obtrusive. I don't dig it. Maybe that's one reason I just wasn't, I don't know, enjoying carrying it around so much. The handle construction, though, is nylon, orange in the half ton, black. I think that's black in both versions. I may be wrong. And these are kind of rubberized handle inserts here. The good news is they're kind of hard rubber. They're not super grippy. Pillar construction on this one, too. Screw together construction. Lets all the lint. You can see some of my lint there. Flow through. Not get too obnoxious. By the way, I almost forget this. Blade centering. Pretty much ideal in the 3/4 ton right there. Here comes my favorite 1 ton. Oh, dude, that is beautiful blade centering on that. Let's look at that stop pin right there. It's about the same size in the smaller models, I think. Handle retention on this one. Excellent. Excellent. Same for the small baby bear knife as well. My favorite again. Handle construction because of its thinness right here. Generally, like I've said in past reviews, I don't like pure stainless steel backs. I'll stick with that. But for the price point, the value you're getting, yeah, pretty insane. Talk mostly about the clips already. I didn't show you this one. This is, you can dig in there. It has a type to it. They've assigned a type to it. It is reversible from tip up to tip down. You see my preferred carry orientation. Only on one side for this knife. You're stuck with it in the 3/4 ton and the 1 ton. Hope you like it. That's what you get. Just like that. Durability from my use, and I did hard cut with this one, should be just excellent. Especially again for the price you're going to be paying for this knife. I see no faults in the handle. Lockup seems to be solid. You can adjust it as you see right there with a pivot point. Is it a hard use knife? I don't know. Define hard use. Cutting carpet? I'd say yeah, it is. It worked fine. Just amazing value though, seriously. 20, 13, 13. Look in the upper right. That's where I recommend you go to go get these knives. Cool factor, not so much. Utility factor, value factor, smoking. That's a Nutnfancy review.